So if you could change just one thing after the age of 50 and completely revolutionize your health, would you do it? I did over the last year, and I want to share it with you. A year ago, I made the decision that I was not as healthy as I could be. And I needed to start eating better. It was my nutrition. I would say at the time, I was eating pretty well compared to some. Fast food, a few times a month. We would go out to eat a lot. You see, food and gatherings was a huge social thing for us. Friday night pizza, that was a pretty regular thing. Going out to our favorite Mexican food restaurant, yeah, we did that a lot too. So really, when I decided to change my nutrition, a big part of it was controlling where we ate. Let me put it in simple terms. We started cooking our own food, not eating out as much. Because while the restaurants are incredible, and I still enjoy going out to eat, don't get me wrong, you just don't know what they're putting in their food or how they're cooking it. And so if I was really going to change my nutrition, I needed to control the controllables, the ingredients. We started eating a lot of single ingredient foods. We started preparing them ourselves. We got away from the fried stuff, did more broiled, more baked, that type of thing. If the ingredients weren't simple may not be the right word, but we tried to be as close to single ingredient as we could be. Of course, we added spices, stayed away from the sugar and the sweet condiments and that type of thing, but fell in love with spicy things, savory things, things that tasted good. And one thing I learned in the process of changing my nutrition was I didn't know what real food tasted like. I was so conditioned to eating the processed stuff, the sugary stuff, that real food didn't have much flavor until I started eating real food. Let me give you an example. When I was a kid, my mom would prepare fresh strawberries. We would go out to the strawberry patch, pick our own, bring them home. Mom would clean them, Mom would slice them, and then she would coat them in this beautiful, silky white powdered sugar. And boy, would I eat those. It wasn't the strawberry I liked. It was the white powdered sugar that made this syrupy, pink juice in the bottom of the bowl that I could not wait to eat once the strawberries were gone. And as I got older, my wife didn't do that. She just cut up the strawberries. She ate them and she loved them. Me, on the other hand, not so much. I wouldn't eat them. I didn't think they had any flavor. They weren't sweet. They weren't the strawberries of my childhood. And then a year ago, when I started eating relatively clean and getting out all that sugar, all that powdery white goodness, if you will, out of my diet, I decided to buy some strawberries. And I put them in a little container and took them to school for work, for lunch. And I was like, not sure if I'm going to like these or not, but I'm going to go ahead and eat them. And I ate them as a dessert to my lunch. And guess what? I absolutely loved them. They were spectacular. They were the best strawberries I've ever had. I came home and remarked to my wife, I didn't realize strawberries could taste that good. What's your point, Jim? Well, I'll tell you. My point is food is good. The type of food you eat is going to be good if you condition yourself to it. So the biggest thing that I changed in the last year that has made a huge difference, since doing that, not that I'm chasing a number on the scale, but I lost 40 pounds. I thought I was already in shape and fit, but I lost 40 pounds getting all the inflammation out of my body, and I've never felt so freaking good. I'm not craving a bunch of junk. I'm not eating cookies and cakes and pies and pastas and pizzas and all that stuff like I used to. And life is really good. So the one thing I would change if I were you, if you're over 50 and you're talking about changing your health, is do a little inventory. What are you eating? Is it healthy? Because after all, we're talking about health. And if your food isn't healthy, how are you going to be? That's a legit question. So let me ask you a question. Is sugar a concern for you? Does it have a hold on you? I know it did for me for about 40 years. I was the king of Oreos, king of Hostess cupcakes, M&M's peanuts, you name it. If it was sugar, it was going in here. So are you struggling with that? If you are, I'm curious, what's your vice? What's the one thing that you think you can't kick? Let me know. I'm curious. Let's talk about it. Let's get healthy together.